Other M Issue 9. After a day's work, Sonic asks what they managed to get, and Fiona says that it's nothing the echidnas don't have 20 of. Sonic wants to find out now and Spin dashes away and towards the truck with an open back door. He asks Bunny and Antoine what they have, and Antoine says they've taken food, medical supplies, survival gear, and even some weapons. Sonic returns to the people he was with and says to Bean that the truck was loaded with supplies that included weapons. For some reason, Fiona thinks having weapons in there was too convenient, and Bean tells Rotor to stop the truck. He leaves it, telling them to get back inside and get the medical supplies ready. Pretty soon, they're all faced with the member of the Chaotix, the evil Knuckles' goons. Rotor asks which one of them killed his parents and brother, and one of them, though I'm not sure who from the art, says that he gladly did that for spitting at him and running away crying. I think it's Fang talking. Rotor looks at Antoine in alarm. As Antoine looks unhappy, he looks away from him and then says he doesn't have any other questions. I don't understand this. Why isn't Rotor immediately punching and getting angry at the jerk and getting his revenge? What does Antoine have to do with anything? The fight begins with Bean using his fiery explosive generating against Vector, Antoine attacking Julie, and Sonic taking advantage of his super speed against Espio and Julie. There's some fight scenes where I'm not sure what's happening exactly or who I'm looking at due to the art. It kind of looks like Fiona's attacking Sonic for some reason. And Bean throws a bomb at Vector. After some more fighting, a laser is shot out, and Vector tells Sonic that his luck just ran out. Why? Mighty then punches Vector in the back of the head, saying, "Behind you!" and says that Vector will think a rebel knocked him out. He tells Sonic that he has a number of friends inside the Guardian's forces, and some have high positions, and while he shouldn't count on them to act, he should know that. Sonic naturally lampshades, "What good are they? Or you, if you don't do anything?" Mighty says that they will at the right moment strike with the unified front. I like that Mighty's a good double agent here. It makes sense, since Mighty's normally a nice guy, making him being evil in another dimension harder to swallow. Sonic says they're waiting until they know they can win, and Mighty tells Sonic that his rebellion is pushing the Guardian to the extremes, being told that he took the bait for the trap like amateurs, and insults him that it makes him sick knowing that they're the only hope for tomorrow. Sonic sarcastically thanks him for the pep talk with an alarmed expression, and he's warned about a major move against him from Knuckles. Sonic is told to let Mighty take his teammates back to base so he won't hinder him further. So this Mighty speaks more formally. Sonic is told that if he decides to finish here and now, his rebellion's chances will be wrecked, and he shakes hands with Mighty. So where did his friends go, and how did the other teammates of Mighty's get knocked out? This is why comic books should be in color. I heard manga insists on not having any color. I couldn't stand that. Knuckles tells the Chaotix menacingly that one of them better explain why they're not all dead, because he knows the rebels they fought today were all rescued and taken to the base. They were? By who? Knuckles angrily reminds them that their orders were to either destroy who he calls the vermin or die trying. Mighty nervously explains to him that the wounds the rebels had at the time were more life-threatening than those of the Chaotix, so he assumed they wouldn't make it. They got wounds like that? Knuckles says that they'll survive with the medical supplies they got from the trap. Mighty says that he allowed the Chaotix to live on and crush the rebels, as well as figured out where the base is. He says that there's no known structures in that sector of the launch base zone that could sustain the rebellion, and all other structures are under heavy Legion use, and using Zoot Tube data maps. The Zoot Tube is how Knuckles used to get to the Master Emerald Chamber, and data that Espio was studying. Mighty is certain the rebellion is on Angel Island. Why is he telling him this? Well, maybe he thinks it's the only way he can save his own skin, and he has faith in the rebellion to survive him giving Knuckles the information. Knuckles asks Espio if he was going to report his findings after the Winter Festival, looking alarmed. Espio says nervously that he didn't want to bother him or waste his time with idle speculation. Mighty thinks that the Guardian will believe the rebels are on that rock when he knows they're in Launch Base Zone. Oh, so he was lying. But wait, I thought Launch Base Zone was on Angel Island, since it's a level in Sonic 3. I guess things are different in this zone, but how was I supposed to know that? We saw the heroes going through Mushroom Hill Zone a lot in this comic on their way to and from their base. Wouldn't that mean they're on Angel Island? Knuckles asks Fang why, if he faced off against Antoine, he broke his leg instead of getting cut. We see Fang on crutches, and he explains that when the purple fiend fell unconscious, he fell on his leg and broke it. Purple is an Espio? Why'd he call him a fiend if they were friends? For the first time, the Chaotix and Evil Knuckles all share a moment of friendship chemistry as they burst out laughing at the idea that he was debilitated by an unconscious rebel. Oh wait, never mind. Knuckles sets Fang on fire, calling him a worthless excuse for the Chaotix. Now I'm wondering if the Chaotix are going to rebel against Knuckles in mistreatment-induced betrayal. This is not a smart way for Knuckles to treat his underlings. Well, it is Knuckles, so it makes sense for his character, but his stupidity as a villain is never lampshaded and called intentional. Knuckles explains that he's going to fill in Fang's position with his ward, the Evil Tails. He has a lot of faith in his combat skills, apparently. However, as Knuckles explains he'll keep Tails from most active duty so he can continue to train him, I think to myself that he'll make a poor substitute for that idiot. Also, I hate that Fang is called Mac. Shouldn't Flynn know that nobody liked that name? Mighty, Vector, and Espio leave, and Evil Tails is asked to take over. He points to the fire around Fang, and it disappears with him in a puff of smoke. Knuckles compliments him on keeping things simple, and Tails says that Fang was already dead, so there was no further amusement to be had of him. The evil Knuckles says sadistically that he's become quite creative in his use of late members of the rebellion, and he's kept all of his best works. I had a hard time following this page because the panels weren't clearly separated into different squares, so I looked at the southwestern panel right after the western one, and even better, right after Knuckles complimented him. This issue was by Ian Flynn, and was about Sonic and the alternate Freedom Fighters fighting the Chaotix, but the fight was very disappointing because thanks to the art, I couldn't even tell what was going on. Suddenly it got to a point where it was only Sonic and Mighty left, and it looked like Fiona was hurting Sonic at one point when no big deal was made of it. It was confusing. This is why art should have color in it, at the very least. The art's alright otherwise. Also, Mighty reveals that Sonic has plenty of supporters in Legion who all want to strike together as a unified front against Knuckles. This doesn't come out of nowhere, since Mighty's a nice guy in the Prime Universe. And later, after we first see Knuckles and the Chaotix all laughing together about Fang's excuse for how he got his leg broken, Knuckles kills him just like that. So no wonder he's not inspiring loyalty in Mighty. It's frustrating that there's no explanation for why this version of Knuckles turned out to be so evil, other than him being the leader of the Dark Legion all his life, and so maybe power corrupts.